Hey everybody, it is Dak here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to Spending Money Helps Make Money. A lot of players are a little hesitant to spend their hard-earned cash, which is reasonable since it usually takes a lot longer to earn your money than it does to spend it. I'm here to discuss why spending that money is going to help you make even more money in the long run. I'm going to start off easy with some stamina potions. Stamina potions cost 7k and a full potion lasts 8 minutes. That means it costs around 50k an hour to use a stamina potion consistently. The blast furnace is a great example of an activity that you have to use a lot of run energy on. You're basically just running back and forth the entire time. Normally I can make up to 4,000 steel bars an hour if I'm using stamina potions, but without stamina potions I max out at just under 3,500 per hour. Overall, without staminas you make bars at about 85% of the max rate. Steel bars currently are down in price and max out around 450k an hour, but without those staminas it's more like 380. That's only a 20k more GP per hour difference at current prices, but it is more profit and you get more smithing XP per hour. Steel bars are also on the low end of the spectrum too. Even with coal being pretty high in price at the moment, you can make up to $1 million an hour doing rune bars, and without stamina potions that's 850k instead. That's 150k more made minus the 50k spent on staminas means you profit an extra 100k just using stamina potions, and you gain more XP. So investing some money into staminas is kind of nice for your account. Construction and prayer are both fairly expensive skills to train, but they have huge benefits. From 1 to 84 construction costs you around 21 mil if you're using oak planks, and at 84 you can use a crystal saw and a spicy stew to boost for up to just about everything but the Nexus portal, which is pretty convenient, but it's not totally needed for this example. The upgraded house can slowly save you some money in the long run since you don't need to buy any more jewelry like dueling rings or amulets of glory or games necklaces and whatnot, plus you'll save some money on supplies from the ornate pool. The most important thing you save though is time. You only need house teleports to go anywhere, so banking for house teleports just takes a second. Plus when you're going to teleport anywhere you can heal up at your pool, so you'll never have to run the Clan Wars portal again or waste any prayer potions or stamina potions or food to heal back up between trips. Not having to bring extra rings and necklaces in your inventory will also lead for longer runs and less banking trips, which adds up to more money. You can also make the occult altar, which costs another 11 mil, but you'll never need to travel to an altar to change a spellbook again. Time saved and convenience added in the long run. Don't forget that you can add the spirit tree and the fairy ring to your house too. These will save you some inventory space for whatever item you were bringing with you before to teleport to a fairy ring or a spirit tree. Plus, there's no shorter run to the fairy ring than when you teleport into your house. It takes quite a while for the exact price of construction upgrades to be made up purely from the house upgrades, but not only does it help you get the money back, it just makes all of your constant activities a whole lot quicker and more convenient. Alright, let's move on to the prayer side of the discussion. From 1 to 70 prayer only costs about 3 to 4 mil if you're using sold Bloodveld heads. And then you have to do King's Ransom, you unlock Piety. Here's a look at the DPS against a Skeletal Wyvern while using the ultimate strength and incredible reflexes, which are just a couple steps below Piety compared to actually using Piety. I'm also using max melee gear for the rest of each setup. The only difference are the prayers. Piety is just over 9% faster on the DPS side, but assuming that you're not attacking 100% of the time since you gotta bank and pick up your stuff and whatnot, we'll take 75% of that increase and say it's 6.8% faster to use Piety. Ooh, numbers. Wyverns are around 750k profit normally, but if you're using Piety instead you're getting nearly 800k an hour. Now is 50k an hour going to make up 4 mil very quickly? Not really, but it'll make up for it over time, and when you start to fight bosses, using Piety is going to make that fight a lot easier in the long run, so the convenience factor is still in there too. Let's move on to Rigor as an example before moving on from training your skills, since you also need another expensive purchase for this one. We'll say you're already at 70 prayer from the previous example, training to only 74 for Rigor, costs another 2 mil or so. Rigor itself is 70 mil though, so you've got 72 mil to make up for. Here's the DPS comparison using best in slot gear on Vorkath, but the difference is Eagle Eye versus Rigor. It's about a 7.2% difference. We'll take that 75% like before since you're not fighting 100% of the time, and it looks like Rigor is a little over 5% increase in kills per hour. Vorkath is about 2 mil per hour with good stats and gear if you're using Eagle Eye but not Rigor. The increase in speed from Rigor brings that over 2.1 mil an hour. Now 100k an hour is going to take a long time to get to 72 mil, but Vorkath's not the only thing that you can use Rigor on. In fact, Rigor is widely usable since range is generally the best combat method for whatever boss you're about to do. And of course, don't forget that convenience factor. That's one of the biggest things for me. It makes the fight easier, faster, and more enjoyable, then it's worth the money. Keep in mind all of these numbers are quick estimates. They can change over time when the prices change over time too. For a lot of level and gear upgrades, it can be costly up front, but it will increase the amount of money you can make per hour, which increases the limit on how much money you can make overall. The next topic of discussion is using a cannon. Lots of players avoid using a cannon because they don't want to spend money on cannonballs. This example is largely used for Slayer. Using a cannon to speed up some of your multi-combat tasks like Cal fights, Dagonoths, Sukwas, or even Lizardmen will not only get you more Slayer XP per hour, but it'll get you past those tasks a lot faster so you can spend more time on tasks that actually make you money. A Cal fight task can easily take an hour or so if you're just throwing down a Dragon Skimmy or a whip on them, but with a cannon you can cut that down to 15 to 20 minutes. With those 40 minutes saved, you can fit another task or two in, especially if they are other cannonable tasks. Or in those 40 minutes you could get a task that actually makes a lot of money and make up for the cash right away, like Gargoyles or Necros or something. Even if you can't make it up yet because your Slayer is too low, for one, getting faster Slayer XP is going to help you out with that problem so that you get to a higher level sooner, but you don't even need to be on a good Slayer task to make it up. You save 40 minutes and you use at most 2,000 cannonballs on one Cal fight task, unless you're using Bracelets of Slaughter. Cannonballs are cheap at the moment, being under 200 coins, but even at 200 coins per hour, that means you spent 400k to save 40 minutes. Any 600k per hour moneymaker could make up that money in 40 minutes or less if you use a better method. So steel bars of the blast furnace could pay for the cannonballs you use in the amount of time that you saved, and that's a low level, easy requirement moneymaker. And you would be getting some smithing XP in that time you saved, and you have to spend less time hanging around some Cal fights. The cannon doesn't need to be used for every single task by any means, but using the cannon is going to speed up your Slayer XP and save some time in the long run to make more than enough money back from the cannonballs. That's spending money to set yourself up to make more money in the future. The last example that I've got on deck is Degradable Armor. I've heard about a lot of players that really try their best to avoid Degradable Armor since it will continue to cost money after you buy it. My example is going to be Darok's Armor and using it in the Nightmare Zone. I'm currently getting about 80k attack XP an hour when training strength on my hardcore Iron Man with my Darok's gear. When I instead use a whip and use my best melee gear, I'm getting closer to 65 to 70k XP per hour. We'll just use 199 to get an example. Let's say you've got 11 mil XP to go for 99 attack. With Barrow's gear, that's about 137 hours, and with the whip, that's about 157 hours. So you save 20 hours using full Darok's gear instead. Barrow's gear takes 15 hours of combat to degrade completely, so in 137 hours you have to fully repair your Daroks 9 times. To fully repair Daroks from Bob's axes, which is a lot more expensive than using your armor stand at home, this is going to cost you 330k each time you repair. That's just under 3 mil extra money spent because your armor is degradable. But you save 20 hours that you can make that 3 mil back in. That means if you make more than 150k an hour in those saved hours, then it was worth using the Barrow's gear. Clearly not every activity warrants the use of powerful degradable gear. If you were to bring your Abyssal Tentacle to Goblins, you're going to lose money. But when you're doing higher level PVM stuff, you should be using the best gear you can afford. Those were my main points I wanted to bring up on how spending money can lead to making more money. Whether it's a level requirement that you need to spend money on, or an armor upgrade, or even using better supplies, if you can save time in the future due to your investment, it's probably going to be worth it. Thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. If you enjoyed or got some useful information, be sure to hit that like button, and if you have any questions or comments about the video, leave them in the comments section below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and best of luck with your grind.